Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Now, you might be reading the title and a bit confused, like, why am I making this video? Why am I sitting here right now? And honestly, to preface the entire video, I've been kind of avoiding talking about this for a couple of reasons, but I'm coming to the realization that if I want to take this YouTube stuff a bit more seriously, I think it's important to have this piece of media out there because it kind of reflects, I guess, my state of mind and how I plan on continuing and the attitude I've kind of set for myself. So I can, I guess, kind of make it more clear to myself of how I want to essentially move forward. Now, I graduated high school in 2022, and I would say the biggest thing I took away, and I think I've said this in a previous video as well, is that the biggest thing I've taken away from my high school experience is, the desire to create something for others to experience. With that in mind, I figured, you know what? I use TikTok, I use Instagram, and I see people making videos. Why not just give it a shot, you know? So, not too different to how I'm doing now. I would set up my camera on my desk, jot down some ideas of what I want to talk about, and just record. Put some music, put some lo-fi in the background, and just post a video with no expectation. But at the end of the day, I was like, hey man, I'm out here doing something, you know? I was like doing something different, at least a little bit different. But as time went on, I really started to assess my relationship with social media and the effect it was having, it has had, it will have on my life. And then I just kind of stopped. This was in 2022 when I would just kind of make little TikToks or whatever, talking about random things. Part of the reason why I stopped then was kind of because of mostly because of laziness. And then I would say come 2025, that's when I started to make videos, I guess a bit more seriously. I don't know, I just told myself I want to do this, right? But then again, I've kind of started considering, the effect social media has and has had, will have on my life, and I stopped again. Now, I feel like to most, this is going to sound like a typical case of over-analysis, paralysis kind of thing. There is a lot of truth to that. I consider myself a chronic overthinker. I would just kind of consider everything for no reason, and I would just kind of let that stop me from, I guess, pursuing what I kind of want to do. The main dilemma I would say I'm working through now, but I was dealing with a lot in 2025, was that I came to the conclusion that social media has been a net negative on my life, and me creating videos felt very contradictory to I guess my idea of basically just contradicted everything I thought about social media. It's like, how am I gonna not like social media and acknowledge its negative effects on my life and then continue to, I guess, upload videos for others to see. And then I started to think more about, okay, what is social media? Like, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I don't think it's as simple as good or bad, obviously. But I think the conclusion I'm kind of coming to now is that I am in control. You are in control. Like, I guess social media inherently, I feel like, is designed to keep you on it. These engineers are, working overtime to essentially, keep you on it, to keep the retention, keep the engagement, to keep you using it. And I just saw that as a negative because I saw in myself that it's taking away my time, simply put, right? As much inspiring, motivating, perspective shifting content that I guess I've seen on social media, I feel like it must be said that, like, these things are taking my time. You know what I mean? These things, and I'm not here to say like those videos are bad, and like, those creators are doing, creators who create, motivating, inspiring, perspective shifting content are doing a bad thing. But I think the user has to realize, at what point am I gonna put down my phone or shut off my laptop and go out and kind of apply whatever I'm taking away. And I know I'm kind of going everywhere, but I guess, like, I started to dislike social media. I started to not like how I used it, more specifically. But I think how I used it is how so many other people use it, and that is, being, just put in simple words, being caught in that sort of doom scroll kind of culture and just consuming content sort of mindlessly with no real intent and just for quote unquote entertainment purposes. I started to realize there's a fine line between entertainment and distraction. That's something big that I kind of realized. As much as these videos are entertaining, I'm enjoying my time, I'm laughing, is it taking away from what I'm really supposed to be doing? Is it taking away from what I want to do? Is it helping me? Is it moving me forward to whatever goal I want to pursue? Or is it just is it just entertainment, or is it just kind of keeping me there, Before I continue, I just want to say I do like making videos. I feel like it's important for me to say that. I do like the actual process. Like, for example, me setting up the camera, me recording, me shooting, me dealing with some of the gear I have. Like, I like it. It's cool. Me editing, like it's the process is actually very enjoyable. I've always wanted to do this for myself. I want to create something. I want to have ownership over something and be able to say that I've created something for others to experience. Like, again, as I said before, I don't think it's inherently bad. I think there is a lot of use to social media. Again, it's a tool, is what I'm trying to understand. Like, it's a tool for building a business, or it's a tool for, gaining knowledge. But I think it's a slippery slope in a way, because coming back to what I've said earlier, there's a fine line between entertainment and distraction. And or even there's a fine line between education in this regard and distraction, because you could feel like you're educating yourself, watch that motivation 3 a.m. motivation reel or TikTok or that self-improvement video. At what point do you there comes a point where you have to understand, okay, well, what am I really what am I doing here, other than just, I guess, accruing this knowledge, quote unquote, Am I applying any of it, or am I just watching another video? And has it not been 3 hours of me just watching self-improvement videos thinking I'm actually making a change, or watching all this knowledge thinking I'm watching all these videos thinking I'm gaining sort of knowledge? But I think you can only say that you've gained knowledge after you've applied it. It can only be said in retrospect. I guess to kind of summarize what I'm saying, I want to take this YouTube stuff seriously, and I'm kind of working through I'm just trying to better my relationship with social media, because I feel like at a certain point I kind of rejected it. Like, I didn't want to accept that I had I didn't like social media. But I have to understand, I have learned, it's because of certain videos and certain creators that I'm sitting here today, that I'm making this video. This didn't just kind of happen because of some innate sort of calling per se, but more so it was I've got inspired and kind of tried it out, and I like the process, at least. So I feel like I should continue, and I know I should continue. But it's just kind of working through this idea of just bettering my relationship with social media, and just understanding that it's not entirely a bad thing, but it's easy for it to become a bad thing. And just trying my best to remind people that there is more to life than watching a video, or watching a TikTok, or listening to a podcast or whatever. Something I really admire about social media is that you are in control of what you actually contribute. Even though sometimes it feels like you're contributing to a bigger negative in a way. Sometimes, at least I feel like that. But I think it's important to understand that I just need to be a positive force. I just need to be a positive force. Just having that control is something social media allows, right? I just need to ensure that the stuff I'm putting out, the things I'm saying, the stuff I'm doing is informative, and it sparks some sort of introspection, and it sparks some sort of self-reflection, and it sparks action, honestly. Social media can be great. It can be a good thing. I don't want to discount its positives entirely. It's just that the negatives can so easily take over and so easily overbear the positives that it's easy to get lost, It's so cold. Oh my God. I guess this video is more of a message to myself, I guess. I just need to have this out there, If I want to take this, I'm going to take this stuff seriously. I think there's no point delaying it anymore. I think the more I delay it, the more time passes, and this is where I don't want to, I actually kind of fear regretting not doing this. I'm going to try my best to be a positive force. Hopefully just make some cool content, kind of document my life, document my states of mind, document my mindset. Just have something to show, I guess, for my life. Have something to show for myself. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, do like the video. I guess if you've taken away something, consider subscribing, because I do intend on making more videos, and I hope to see you soon.